Hello and welcome here to Talk FCB and welcome back here to the channel, guys, and welcome to the preview of Barcelona against Getafe from La Liga. Round 23 is underway and we welcome Getafe to the Camp Nou tomorrow afternoon. A team that we have been very, very comfortable against at home in recent times. We've beaten Getafe in all 4 of our last meetings, home and away. But will we make that 5 tomorrow? We are going to find out and look at everything you need to know in this match preview. As always, guys, the preview is coming to you courtesy of the OneFootball app, which you can find in the description down below. The best way to stay up to date with all Barcelona and La Liga news, and 94% of people on the OneFootball app believe that Barcelona will beat Getafe at the Camp Nou tomorrow. And as always, in my own poll on my community section, thank you to all of you who have got involved on there. Many of you, and the majority, believe that we will win tomorrow at the Camp Nou by 3 goals. A lot of you think 4 as well, but the majority right now standing at 3 goals. So we're expecting a comfortable win, and we're going to be taking a look at whether that's likely to be the case, who's included in the squad, who's likely to play, and what exactly is the history between these two teams. The kickoff tomorrow will be a slightly earlier time on the Sunday at 4:15 local, the same time that we played Espanyol in the derby match in our last league game last weekend, and it will be, of course, interesting to see how many people turn up for this game. It is earlier in the afternoon. Hopefully the weather stays dry in Barcelona. We want to be seeing more fans inside the Camp Nou, and hopefully it will attract a decent attendance. Here is the kickoff time right around the world, which I think is better for a lot of you guys around the world, so that's certainly a good thing. Right now in La Liga, Atletico Madrid, as we're recording this, are in action at La Rosaleda against Malaga. They're currently 1-0 up thanks to Antoine Griezmann's goal. If they do end up winning that game, they will temporarily close the gap at the top of the league to just 6 points. So it's really important that we go into tomorrow's game, win that, and extend the gap once again ahead of Atletico Madrid. Later on today, Real Madrid will be in action. 4th place Real Madrid, of course, will be in action against Real Sociedad at the Bernabeu. That'll be later on this evening. And the final team out of the top 4 in La Liga is Valencia, and they'll be in action after us. They'll be on Sunday night. They're hosting Levante at the Mestalla, and it's going to be interesting to see how many teams drop points this weekend, if any, and it's going to be really important, I think, to get our win, beat Getafe, and keep moving on in La Liga, keeping that gap as it is, and continuing our run, unbeaten of course, in the league right now. We come into this game fresh from reaching the Copa del Rey final on Thursday, beating Valencia on the night at the Mestalla, and I say we come into this game fresh. That's basically anything but what our squad is right now, to be perfectly honest. Coming into this game, Umtiti is suspended, Vermaelen is still out injured, Gerard Piqué included in this squad even though he still has a knee problem. We're going to be coming on to all that kind of stuff later. But as for Getafe, they got pretty much a full week of preparation and training for this game. It's been 7 days since they had a game. They drew last weekend 0-0 with Leganes, and to be honest, Getafe find themselves in a very good position in the league. They're comfortable in mid-table, 11th place right now, their first season back in La Liga since being relegated, and they've had some very good results this season. They beat Valencia back in December, they're unbeaten in the last 4 La Liga games, drawing with Leganes, Sevilla, Athletic, and beating Malaga as well. So coming into this game, Getafe are a decent opposition. They're nothing to be sort of sniffed at. We can't take them lightly, and certainly given our last meeting with Getafe, the meeting away from home back in September, we shouldn't really underestimate them. On that day, it took a fight back. We were 1-0 down, courtesy then of goals from Denis Suarez and Paulinho, both players coming off the bench to get us all 3 points on that day. So we don't want to be taking Getafe lightly. We want to make sure we're going into this game with the right mindset, and we definitely can beat them at the Camp Nou. And to be honest, we should be beating them. Simply because in our last 8 games against Getafe at the Camp Nou, we're unbeaten in all of those, and we have won an incredible 7 of those games. We really do like playing Getafe at home. They're a team that come, we're very confident every single time we play them. And certainly looking at our recent meetings against Getafe at the Camp Nou, our 2 most recent meetings in 2016 and 2015, we won both of those games by 6 goals to 0. So I would certainly, going into this game tomorrow, I would certainly expect goals from Messi, from Suarez, providing that they both feature, of course, if they're playing tomorrow, I would certainly expect them to score. Messi himself has a very good record against Getafe, 11 goals in his last 11 meetings against Getafe at the Camp Nou. And with Luis Suarez, he is on fire right now in terms of goals, scoring in his last 8 of his 9 last league games. Really, really impressive run from him. In that time, he's scored 11 La Liga goals. He's really hitting some form now. He started the season a bit slowly, but he's really caught up, and now he's firing all cylinders, both scoring goals and also in the side of creating things, as we saw against Valencia on Thursday. And both players, Messi and Suarez, sitting comfortably at the top of the La Liga goal scoring charts. Lionel Messi currently on 20 goals for the season in La Liga. Luis Suarez just behind him on 16. So both of them tomorrow, if they're playing, they will expect a score against this Getafe defence. But to be honest, going into tomorrow's game, for me, the main focus is going to be on Ernesto Valverde and his team selection. Who exactly is he going to select in this game? Who's he going to leave out? Who's he going to rest? Who is he going to bring in? Because obviously, all our attention right now, to be honest, is on that Chelsea game. When we go into the Getafe game tomorrow, that's on the Sunday. We got one more league game, and then we have Chelsea. 9 days later, Chelsea at Stamford Bridge in the first leg of that round of 16 tie. And obviously, we come into this game, that's our main priority right now. Get the 3 points and then move on. But we still want to be preserving some players. We still want to be resting players where we can. And of course, right now, we want to be avoiding any injuries that we can possibly prevent. And it's really important as well that the injured players that will be out, the likes of Dembele, maybe Vermaelen by the Eibar game, they need to be coming back into the fold, starting to settle in again, getting fresh with the team, integrating themselves, and making sure they're back and featuring. By the time we get to that Chelsea game, they should be feeling a lot better and close to being match fit, hopefully. And when you look at the squad for tomorrow's game against Getafe, it is a very interesting squad from Ernesto Valverde. Lots of points actually to pick up on here simply from the squad announcement. Basically, Dembele is back. That's the big headline. Ousmane Dembele back in the squad following from his injury setback against Real Sociedad in January. He is back in the squad and is definitely in contention to play against Getafe tomorrow. I would be extremely surprised if he was to start the game. I don't think he's ready to jump straight back into it. We need to introduce him slowly. We need to integrate him very slowly and be very careful with him. But I wouldn't be surprised to see him come off the bench, have a few minutes in the second half, just to get his match fitness up, just to get that realisation, playing in a team again. That's exactly what we need. But we must be careful with Dembele. Definitely handle him with caution. We don't want to be throwing him back in too quick, too soon. And then there's Gerard Piqué. Gerard Piqué, like I said earlier on, named in the squad despite actually having a knee problem. And that is confirmed, by the way. Valverde earlier on today in his press conference officially said Piqué does still have that injury to his knee that he sustained at Espanyol during our last league game away from home. He picked up an injury in his knee, and Valverde said in his press conference he still has that problem and that he might start tomorrow. He's not quite sure yet. But I, for me, can't really understand why we would even think about risking Piqué tomorrow. I would be extremely surprised to see him start this game. But then again, I was extremely surprised just to see him in this squad, because for me, Gerard Piqué right now, if he's got any discomfort at all, especially in a game at home against Getafe, don't risk him. Don't risk him ahead of that Chelsea game. Valverde confirmed he had a problem, so why is he even in the squad? I would be so surprised if he does play tomorrow. He hasn't trained at all since he came off at the Mestalla. He came off a few minutes early with Yerry Mina. He clearly looked in discomfort after he played against Valencia, and in the 2 days following that, both on Friday and on Saturday today, he has not been in first team training. So for me, Piqué tomorrow should not be anywhere near starting this game. And then there's also the matter of Denis Suarez, who has once again been left out of this squad. And I'm bringing that up today simply because I was kind of expecting him to be involved in this kind of game, simply because last time we played Getafe, like I mentioned at the start of the video, along with Paulinho, he was the man that got us back into the game. He's got a very good goal, and he's hardly been involved at all lately. And I was expecting him to get some minutes here, just to give him a game, just to give him some game time. But right now, Denis Suarez very much not in Valverde's plans. He has hardly received any minutes at all in 2018. His last appearance coming on the 17th of January against Espanyol. That was nearly 1 month ago now. And since then, to be honest, he's nearly been completely excluded from the match squads. He's not been in the squad to face Valencia on Thursday, the Espanyol second leg, league games against Betis and Alaves, nowhere at all to be seen. And I think that's really harsh. He deserves a try. He deserves a few minutes at the very least. When you got players like Alex Vidal, players like Gomez, of course, who are receiving minutes consistently, even though maybe at times their performances aren't really warranting that. And again, this isn't really me trying to second guess Valverde. This is simply my own personal opinion. This is the team that I would go with against Getafe. I think this gives a good blend of sort of defensive qualities, the fact that we really have to sort of adjust at centre-back and put some makeshift players in there, but it does give us really good attacking power, and we've seen in our previous games against Getafe, we do score goals, and if we pressure on the defence, we can definitely score some goals in this game. So I would go with Ter Stegen, Alba, Digne and Mina at centre-back. Mina's got the height, Mina's got the defensive qualities. Digne's there as cover. He can defend at times. He's got a bit of pace. He can cover there to the left of Mina. I would go with Semedo then at right back. Again, his pace can bail us out if we really need to on the counter-attack. Busquets then in midfield where he belongs. He can anchor there. He can provide defensive cover as well. Rakitic and Roberto in midfield. Two very, very good midfield players. Good on the ball. They're also very, very good defensively. So they will also add some protection to that makeshift centre-back pairing. And then up front, Coutinho, Suarez, Messi. Simple as that. Three players who are all goal-scoring threats, all on really good form, and can cause for me, Getafe, major problems. What you do with this lineup, you rest Iniesta, you rest Gerard Piqué if the game is going well, which for this lineup, I think, to be honest, we'd actually start the game well. We'd maybe have a first half where we scored a few goals. That is very much a rarity right now. We need to start killing games much earlier on so then we can rest players as the game goes on. So hopefully we line up with a good attacking trio, then behind them some defensive cover, and make sure that we don't get exposed at centre-back where we're clearly very vulnerable right now. So please do leave your thoughts down below, guys. What do you think of this lineup? What would you change? Do you agree with what I've gone with? Would you go with this kind of lineup or anything else? Just let me know your thoughts down below. For me, the score prediction tomorrow will be Barcelona 4, Getafe 1. I can't quite personally see us keeping a clean sheet in this game, although I wouldn't be completely surprised. I think the players that can come in, they might, surprise us. They might really impress us. I really hope that Mina has a good game at centre-back. I'd love for that to happen for him. But I think up front, we've got far too much firepower. We can definitely score goals against Getafe. Messi and Suarez are red hot right now. And I would absolutely love to see Coutinho follow up that goal in the Copa against Valencia with his first Barcelona League goal. So leave your thoughts down below, guys. What are your lineup predictions? What are your score predictions? Let me know all your thoughts and more in the comments down below. And of course, I'll be here tomorrow with all that match reaction. Hopefully we can celebrate a big win against Getafe and then preserve our players and turn our attention to a very big week. We've got good rest then, we've got Eibar, and then the Chelsea game. I'll see you soon, but until then, as always, Vesca El Barça. Barça! Barça!